All right, welcome back to SITECH Intermountain Siteworks training videos. I'm out here on the project still, this multifamily 1 and 2. I wanted to show you how to vertically change your offset to check grade properly. And what I mean by that is the cut fill A in the top left here. I'm going to show you how you can change that offset to check different grades and how to also set in a second vertical offset so you can, in one spot, check two different grades. So this job just barely got paved out here. And it's good to go through at a zero offset and kind of see how close things are to the existing or what it should have been from the original design, what I mean. So I'm out here on the south end of this project, right in the middle of one of these roads where multiple projects or house projects are going to go in. To make sure that your vertical offset is still on zero, as you go to start checking grade, go into your menu button, go down to settings, and go down just a little bit to surface settings. So in surface settings is where you would put in how far above grade or below you grade you want to check. It's a lot like the machine control, if you're familiar with that, other than you don't put a minus in there. I'll show you that just in a sec, but we've verified that we're on zero. So now, anywhere we walk, if we start checking lip of gutter here, you can see that in this spot, they're actually a 10th low. No surprise, right? You can zoom in, make sure that it's in the right spot. It is. You can check flow line if that had been cut in pretty close. You can check top back of curb. This is a little bit of a different type of a curb cross section, but I've got my tilt compensating on. I don't have to be perfectly level. But the top back of curb, in theory, is really, really close. So just showing you how to be able to go out, make sure center line is where it's supposed to be. Looks like it's good. They hit grade really, really tight on the center line. And we can check edge of pavement on the other side. That edge of pavement is very, very close. Finished product matches really well. Same thing with TBC, top back and curb. Actually, they're a little bit of a cut on that. So as we go out into the dirt over here, if you had to check this grade, we're still at zero, but they most likely have an offset. So we're going to come over and you can see that they're about 2/10 low. Not a big deal. They're going to end up putting houses in at this point. They're going to dig basements. So they've just basically checked in and roughed in kind of a rough grade before they go dig it out. So let me show you how to check two different elevations if you needed to. So as I come back over to the road right here, we can go into that same setting right there in the menu, settings, and there's surface settings. Before we do the second surface, I'll just show you how to put an offset in. Let's say you were wanting to check, make sure behind back of curb is, 3/10 down. What we can do is put a 0.3, but you don't put a negative in there. You can see the surface type. There's vertical and perpendicular, but offset direction above or below. So below would obviously be a minus in this scenario. So 0.3 below. Now my cut fill A represents what it should be for that surface offset. So now you could go and start checking to make sure and verify, okay, they're a little high right here for that 3/10. Just throwing numbers out, right? Anywhere I go, I need to change that vertical offset. There are a lot of surveyors out there that like to do the math in their head and just leave it at zero. And if they see a fill of whatever the number is or a cut, they like to do the math. I personally like to change the vertical offset. So I'm going to go back into the menu, go to settings, go to surface settings, and I'm going to put that one back at zero. But I'm going to show you how to check two different elevations at the same time, which means cut fill A and cut fill B. So I'm going to go in here to the menu, go to settings, back down in that same spot where there's surface settings, there's second surface. I can go ahead and pick a design. If I had a different design in here other than just the one, I could check grade to a completely different design than the same one. But if I leave it on this multifamily 1 and 2, I could put a separate offset in. I could put a 1 foot or whatever number it is. Maybe we'll put a below. So we'll put a one foot below, same project. We're going to go ahead and go out. But I'll show you, if you do that, you have to make sure you set up a couple other settings in order to see the information right on your screen. So right now, no big deal, other than I still have cut A and B. I have to go and change my ribbon at the top or my control panel over here. So you go into the menu, go down to settings, and there is info bar and panel. So at the top here, pay attention, there's the bar, and the panel. The top bar and then the panel on the left. So I just have cut fill A on the top one there. I can also turn off like easting and northing if I don't want to see that stuff. But in this top one, I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to go after that. I'm going to go to the panel, turn off northing, easting also, or I'm going to leave elevation on, sorry. And that one, and I'm going to turn off cut fill A, but I'm going to turn on cut fill B. You can also go down through here and change a couple different things if you need to. For the example, at the very bottom here, you've got options like surface offset and second surface settings. So I'm going to turn on second surface settings, and I'll show you on the main screen. I hit OK. Now my panel here on the left side has cut fill A, cut fill B. So my cut right here, or fill, is 2/100 for finished grade. But if I were also needing to come over here, let's say this was dug out, and I needed to just on the fly check a guy that's digging out a soft spot, or this side hasn't even been cut, whatever it may be, I can now see what my cut fill would be, and I have a cut of a foot and about 500. No big deal, right? But I can verify what my offset is at this point. If I'm always ever curious what my cut fill B or even A is, I can have that on right here for cut fill, which is the 2. I have it down with that arrow a 1 foot. If you always want to see what your vertical offset is for your A, which is not a bad thing, go back into the menu, go down to settings, and go back into that info bar panel, and stay on the bar at the top right there, and you can go down and actually see the same thing, surface offset. These buttons on the left side right here allow you to change them where you need. If you need to take them and move them, if you get your finger on it, you can move them where you need to put them, just like you can in Earthworks. So now you can see my vertical offset for A is that, but if I'm always curious what it may be, instead of going back into the settings every time to get that warm and fuzzy, I can see that that's a 0 and my number 2 is at a down at 1 foot below. So that's the basics of grade checking on a surface with cut fill. And if you had created your own surface, it would be the same thing. So hopefully this helps, but thank you for watching this video from SITECH Intermountain, Siteworks training videos on surface offsets.